Wade, how are you
Well,
doing?
hello. My name is Wade, and I'm doing this for Events Magazine Online. I've got 12 minutes, so I probably like 5 or 6 questions here, I guess.
All
So,
right.
um, First off, Pasqual, Serious People is rooted in a personal dilemma, balancing creative ambition and fatherhood. So, how much of the story came directly from your own experience, and where did you exaggerate or fictionalize it to make a larger point?
It 100% came from my personal experience. Here's my daughter right here behind us.
All
It's
right.
all real. Oh, so she want to be part of the interview. Yeah, look, so it was 100% what was going on in my life. I actually have the shingles. Look, there's a tiny bit of the scar left. I
Oh,
was actually having an existential crisis about this. I'm actually a music video director. My partner, Christine, is also a director herself. The home that we're in the film is my real house. That's my real office. Raul is my real creative partner in the directing duo Clica. And we were at the time facing a lot of challenges about our duo partnership in this trajectory of fatherhood, knowing that I wanted to take time away to be present for my daughter when she was born. And it was drastically affecting the work that we were able to do. We were losing big jobs and big opportunities because I wasn't available. And that really affected, I think, probably all these things combined, culminated in a very nightmarish, hyper vivid dream that I had where I casted a doppelganger from Craigslist, which was the premise of the film. And then the next morning, I called Ben and said, let's make this a movie.
and that really captures the contradiction of the system we live in, where you're expected to work hard all the time and to have kids, but you can't always be there to be with your kids if you're out working hard.
Absolutely,
So
man.
there is a bit of
Right, my
social
life.
commentary sort of
Oh,
built in.
100%. 100%. That was very conscious.
And the idea of hiring a doppelganger to replace yourself is sort of wild, but also deeply symbolic. So, what does Miguel represent to each of you as a filmmaker, as a person, and as a commentary on the industry?
Mm.
I mean, I think Miguel represents the future. I think you can do it. I think in this verse, like Miguel's actually a very sweet guy. And I think even yesterday it's really funny at the premiere he says, like, yeah, I'm actually really nice, and I watch the film. Sometimes I'm like, ooh. And I think that Miguel really could be a director. And I think that there really is this, I don't want to say threat, but like replaceability, Like I think Miguel could replace any of us at any time. He's really hardworking, and I think we kind of pushed the boundary and made him like a little bit more evil than if this actually happened. Like I'm kind of curious if we made another version of this movie that was a complete documentary where we're like, okay, Miguel, you are gonna go direct this video or a commercial, what that would actually look like, because I don't know if he would be that I don't think he would that sabotage it, or he would
Yeah.
necessarily go to that extent.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I really think that Miguel has a lot of potential, and I think that there is this real replaceability in this industry. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think when we started this, last thing I was saying, you can jump in, but we thought this was going to be a documentary. But because of the timeline of the baby, we only have 6 months to craft these scenes, and we have to put certain narrative beats in certain time frames. So it quickly evolved from a documentary to this meta film. And I mean, sure, like it's Sundance called it a fiction, but when we submit to Sundance, we submit to fiction and documentary because we didn't want to lie. Like we don't know what this is. This is just a film, and it's not the category is not important. It's more about the story of what this is. So
Yeah.
All right, and I I'm wondering if you at all clashed while making this, because it you're from a documentary background, Ben, but this is a scripted feature. So were there any moments of tension between um, visions, I guess, for this film?
I think there was one scene. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it wasn't really between us, but I think I mean, this is Pasquale's life, and we're filming in Pasquale's house. And so the whole crew is in Pasquale's house late at night. And I think Christine is tired, and we're pushing the scene, and we're continually filming. And I think the actual real life implications kind of affected you. And I feel like that was maybe the most difficult part of this film, of how
Yeah.
your relationships
Yeah.
with everyone involved. I mean,
Yeah.
because it is real, but we're asking them to, play along with this narrative, but also, Christine's really pregnant, and yeah. So I think the hardest part is just, yeah, documenting real life and pushing it in this way.
Yeah.
So
I think that was the biggest challenge. Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a great question. I think that that's part of what made us really excited to make the film, right? Which is that we are putting these two different, perspectives together, right? Like something that has a clear narrative arc that has characters and arcs and it's written and it's planned and it's produced. But it's also with a documentary back eye as well. And I think the culmination of those two things together is what I think makes Serious People very unique. And it was a very open, forum when we were, developing creatively.
And do you have any comments on the clout economy, as it's so often called?
The
I
cloud
think
economy, I love
not the
that.
clown economy, the clout
The clout,
economy.
yeah, the clout economy. Yes, yes, yes.
or clown economy.
Yes,
They're
yes.
the same
And it's the
thing.
same thing, man. No, look, I think I'm in my real life, like I'm involved in the music industry, or I have been involved in the music video industry for years now. I've seen a lot of things, and it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not with the artists because the artists themselves are always usually pretty amazing. They're amazing to work with, but it's more so the systems around the artists and dealing with timelines and expectations for the directors to deliver and time and time and time again, and the pressure that you feel when you're working in that industry to basically never say no to any opportunity because you know that if you say no to something, someone's going to replace you right away and it's going to be almost laughable how much they're copying you. They're literally filling in. I mean, that was part of this, and that's something that I think a lot of directors in the music or in the clout heavy part of LA feel. And because they feel that kind of almost impending or existential dread around their own existence, it brings out sometimes the worst in people. People get very, power hungry, very quickly, especially people that are everyday people like me and like Ben, but all of a sudden, we're associated with some of the most famous people in the world. And, some people, when they're given those opportunities, they deal with them in a very ugly way. And they get kind of drunk with the power and they start abusing it.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I've seen a lot of it. And this film is commenting on that, I would say.
As far as music videos go, they do lead to opportunities. People
Yeah.
sometimes, dismiss that whole genre. But for example, the director of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie started off mostly in music video directing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I don't know if they know that exactly, but
Yeah.
David Fincher was also a director of a lot of music videos.
David Fincher was,
Spike
Spike
Jones.
Jones
Oh yeah,
was,
Spike Jones, yes.
yeah, Spike Jones was, what's his name? Transformers guy.
I forgot his name.
You know,
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay started.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
bad with names too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forget names all the
Yeah, a lot,
time. That's okay.
many have. The Daniels as well, who won the Oscar a couple of years ago. The
Oh,
Daniels
sure.
were a very famous music video directing duo for years. So yeah, it does translate, absolutely. Um, I'm happy to have crossed over. you know?
So, what does serious mean in the title? As far as like serious people, does it mean being a serious artist, a serious parent, or just a serious human?
I mean, it's deeply ironic, you know,
Sure.
and I think that it's this idea that, you know, the things that we take so quote unquote seriously, specifically with, you know, the directors of the world, you know, that it never really is that serious, you know, even though it feels like it's the end all be all of your life and your existence, and you know, it's especially when you're pitting your career against something like parenthood, where you are morally legal, your entire life is really changing, and it's about raising your child. It's just funny. You just look back at it and you're like, man, like it's gonna be okay. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. And my
Yeah.
character is the utmost, you know, exploration of that. I'm so scared to say no, and I'm so neurotic about losing opportunities, and I'm so upset. I'm so unbelievably like confident, blindly confident that this is going to work. And it's a comment on all of that stuff. It's like, you know, it's really not that serious, dude. You could have just been like, I can't do the video, you know, but he went all over the place to not do that, you know. So
So, was the disastrous music video shoot at all drawn from a real experience, or was it sort of made up just to make the movie funny?
it was made up. It was made
Okay.
up. But the reality was, like I was saying, you know, Raul and I were getting, we were having issues, you know, booking jobs when Christine was pregnant, because things were coming in, and I was saying I can't be there for because of the pregnancy, because it was around the due. This was real stuff that was happening to us, and so and it was deeply frustrating, and honestly like haunting to me, because you know it's financial as well, and it's affecting my friend, my partner. You know, he can't work because I'm having a child and he's not, you know, that seems just like deeply unfair and deeply flawed and deeply frustrating to me, which is what brought this idea to a head, you know. The things that happened in the film were
I
because,
could leave that part out if
yes,
you
let's
want.
cut that part out. Yeah.
That's
Miguel's, all I'll say is that Miguel's character is subtly training for that moment his whole life, if
Sure.
if you know what I'm saying.
All right. And what would be the biggest message you want people to take from this movie, I suppose?
You go.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple things that we want to say, and I think the obvious one is replaceability. It's a commentary on replaceability in Los Angeles, but I think another one is just how beautiful and how interesting and how strange our lives in Los Angeles are. I don't live in LA anymore, but I do look back at my experiences before, and I look at Pasquale's life here, and I look at all of our friends, and I think there's something amazing about it, especially um, yeah, just the fact that we're able to film at your real house, we're able to film in Silver Lake, and we're able to, I think there's something that you don't really get to see. There's a lot of films about the filmmaking industry, but none take a look at the eyes of being a director in the music video space, in the commercial space, and that's where we live, and that's where all of our friends have lived. And so I think there's something that, yeah, I think there's something really unique and special that we can show to the world about our group of friends and our lives. And I mean, it's also just, it's a really beautiful story about you and Christine and this moment in your lives. So I think to me, just being able to show that to the world is what I think is the takeaway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that could be it for the questions then. I don't know if it's been 12 minutes. It's probably been pretty close. So, is there anything else you would like to add, or I
I would just tell people, if you are watching the film, go make one yourself if you want, because I want people to feel that way when they watch
sure.
this film. And that's what we did. And my favorite thing about this film is seeing all of the young filmmakers out there that are wanting to cut their teeth and they're nervous about it, or they have a great idea, but they don't know how to go about doing it, or they think they can't do it. You can do it. We did it, and we've gone to this point, it was a home video. This is what this film is really, it's a
Yeah.
home video and it's a home project, and it was initially just for us. And the fact that we're here having this conversation and that we have distribution, we're just every day we're just happy to be here. So I hope that reaches whomever, go make something. We need new stuff. We need new stuff out there in the world. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for the time, and I guess she'll stop the recording, and